using the thrown exception objects. The catch block receives the exception object as a parameter. That exception object has methods inherited from Throwable that you can call to get further information about the exception. And here's a complete list of the methods. First, the getMessage, which we used in this lecture already, will return a description of the exception. Print stack trace will display the stack trace, and toString, which itself is inherited from the object class, will return a string object containing a complete description of the exception. So let's see this in an example. So let's try the throwable methods in this example. As again, if you remember, we have an integer array of my numbers 1 to 3, and in line 6 we have a print my numbers 10, which will throw an index out of bounds exception, and we'll catch it with the index out of bounds exception E, and then we're gonna decide what we want to do. First thing we have done already, we can print E itself, and then let's see what happens. So we get the entire error message here. So we can so printing E actually does this. It calls E dot toString method. So calling E dot toString and calling E will both do the same thing. Let's compile and test this again. So we have two of the same error message here, 1 and 2. And again, if you want to only get the message itself, which is this part, not the rest of it, what you can do is you can print E dot getMessage. And let's try this one more time. So the latest printout here is this one, where we have index 10 out of bounds for length 3, and that's the message itself. Finally, let's leave some spaces in between, so we can, and this time I'm going to call E dot print stack trace. So the print stack trace method is a void method which itself prints something, so we don't have to put this inside a print statement. So let's go ahead and try this. Here we go. So we have index 10 out of bounds exception, index 10 out of bounds for length 3, which is this line, and then we have the entire stack trace, which is pretty similar to the errors that we have above. Here we go. So this is how we can use the toString, getMessage, and then print stack trace methods.